Normally when they send you the appointment mail, it comes with a link. With that link, you can get like the list of documents that is required of you for your visa application, right? So I'm just going to run us through some of these documents. Sometimes they might ask for something else that is not on this list, but it's rare, right? So the first one, we have 2 fully completed application forms. Now, if you get that link, there is a PDF document attached to this particular document I just mentioned. That's the 2 fully completed application form. If you click on it, you would get like the PDF document. Also, the declaration pursuant to section 54 of 2 number 8 in conjunction with section 53 of the Resident Act, completed and signed by hand. You would also get the PDF document on this site. Also, you would need 2 recent biometric passport photos, size 35 by 45 millimeter, in front of a light background. Now, if you're going to take passports, let them know the actual size that they require. That is the reason why they put the description there, the exact size that they need, 35 by 45. It should not be less, it should not be more. They would also require you to bring a valid and signed passport with at least 6 months of validity remaining, issued within the last 10 years, and at least 2 blank pages. Something happened during my time when it was, so a month before my interview date, my passport had expired. I'd been saying I would renew, but for some weird reasons, I just did not renew my passport until a month to my interview date. Now, that cost me so much money to pay for express and get my 2 months before my interview date. It cost me so much to pay for express and get a new passport. So please, if you know your passport is going to expire anytime soon, maybe 5 months, if you have like less than 5 months, please, I'd advise that you start you renew. And now I hear it takes a while, so apply for a new passport so that before your interview date you get your passport ready, right? Other valid and already expired passports. So it could be your voter's card, it could be your NIN card, it could be your driver's license, any valid ID card that you have, whether it's expired or is not expired. Just provide it. They just want to see that they just want to confirm your identity. That's the reason why they ask for all of these documents. So whether you have an expired voter's card or a driver's license that is provide it. If you've not renewed, if you've renewed, provide both the expired one. I provided my expired voter's card and the new one. I provided all the valid ID card I had, NIN, voter's card, all the ID I had, I provided on my interview day. For non-Nigerian nationals, Nigerian residence permit. Well, this didn't apply to me, so if it applies to you, you would need that. Copies of the data page of the passport of the spouse living in Germany, plus 2 copies of the Nigerian entry visa and associated entry and exit stamps, if applicable. Now, this is for your spouse living in Germany. So you will need your spouse's copy of his data page. Let him scan and send that to you, or let her scan and send that to you. And also entry and exit stamps. So those parts where they stamped on his or her passport, he or she needs to scan and send to you. In the case of spouse without German nationality, that is, if your spouse is not a German citizen, copies of this German resident title. So you will need your spouse to send you his resident permit or whatever title that he bears. If he's a blue card holder, whatever, let him send a scanned copy of that. 2 biometric passport photos of the spouse living in Germany. You would also need your marriage certificate. Very important, very, very important. You'd also need marriage certificates and divorce decrees of any previous marriage. That if you've been married before, you need to provide those documents. And if you are a divorcee, you need to provide that divorce certificate, right? So marriage certificate and divorce decree of any previous marriage of the spouse. So It didn't apply to me. I've never been married before. My husband is my first marriage and last, right? Then affidavit from a parent or head of the family on the applicant's marital status, declaration of spinsterhood or bachelorhood. Now you can get that, you can get this in any court, right? Declaration of spinsterhood. This declaration states that you've never been married before, it's, I think, normally you can do this, or your parent can do this for you. I did mine, so my dad signed on the affidavit that I've never been married before. So declaration of spinsterhood, you're declaring that, you know, you are once a spinster or a bachelor. Also certificates, if applicable, baptismal certificate and other biographical older documents, e.g. voter's card, library card, vaccination certificate. I provided all of this except library card. I don't have one, but my voter's card, my NIN, my vaccination certificate, I provided all of this. Fully completed questionnaires for verification of documents. You can find this on this same site. Like I said, if they send you this email, there's a link. If you just click on the link, all of these documents, you can see them in PDF document for you to download and print out. If available, photos of the wedding ceremony and other old family photos. Yes, so of course when we wed or when we have any celebrations, we take pictures. So they want to see these pictures to be sure that this event truly took place. So I provided all my wedding photos. The ones I was able to print out, I provided them. Proof of birth for any existing children who are not to move to Germany, as well as the address and telephone number of other parents. If this is applicable to you, you need to provide proof of birth for any existing. If you have a child for your spouse, you need to provide their birth certificate. Proof that the applicant can communicate in German in a simple manner, which is the A1 certificate. Certificate not older than 1 year. Now, this A1 certificate is valid for just 1 year. Most times we are told, write this exam, you just have the certificate. You will need to even learn the language if you're coming to Germany. At least have like the basic knowledge of their language, right? So you need the A1 certificate. One of the documents they require of you. A1 certificate, but it's valid for 1 year. My advice to you is, if you start this family reunion process, do not be in a hurry to write this exam. Learn and understand the language. Write your exam close to your interview date because of the validity. Remember that it's valid for just 1 year. Now, if you write it too early, it might expire before they are done with your visa process. So write it close to your interview date. That way, before they send your documents to the ABH in your husband's current place of residence, before they send the lawyer for verification, that is if you need to be verified, before they finish all the whole back and forth with you, it's 1 year. So it's always good to write your exam close to your interview date. I wish I knew this earlier. It was one of the mistakes I made. So don't make it so that you don't get to write this exam twice, because if the certificate expires even while you've submitted, you'll be asked to write another A1 exam, so, and provide the certificate. Then another document is up-to-date proof of residence of the spouse living in Germany. I hope I don't think I'm pronouncing it well, but what it means is your spouse's proof of residence. He would provide that for you. A prepaid courier envelope from one of the courier companies represented. So it could be from UPS, DHL, whichever courier companies that you deem fit to provide, or whichever one that is easier for you to get. Right, you can get that. So these are the list of documents that you would be required to provide during or come with during your interview dates. I hope I've been able to help some of us with the document. If there's any question that you feel like asking, please do what to ask. Till my next vlog, stay happy and don't be anxious. Don't worry, this process is just to help them know who you are, who your spouse is, where your spouse lives. If you guys are truly, couples, or you're just lying that you're couples.